How should you ask for a layered haircut? If you want to have layers, you have to understand what layers do. Layers actually remove weight from your hair. It adds volume to your hair. It adds texture to your hair. I get a lot of people who are complaining that they're not really getting, any sort of movement in their hair. Meanwhile, they have a hairstyle like this, and I'm like, well, your hair is in your face too much, and you don't have any layers. It's all one length. So if you're tired of your hair being too heavy and having that kind of sweep in the front, then what you need to do is you need to add some sort of layering to your hair, and that's what this is. It's a layered haircut. So how do you ask for layers? You have to understand a few different things, right? Typically, a hair professional should know that you will need layers in your haircut. And if they don't know, then maybe it's time to find somebody new. But based off of the haircut that you want, that's why showing photos is really important. That's why don't focus so much on the names of haircuts. I always get, what's the name of that haircut? I'm like, don't focus on the name, focus more on the look and if it can work well with your hair type. And what you need to do is realize that in order to have a certain hairstyle, it may need layering. So tell them based off of the photograph you show or the haircut that you're saying, like, look, I want my hair to be, here down in my face, but it's really, really heavy and doesn't have any movement. They should know, okay, well, I need to layer it. Or they should analyze your hair and say, well, your hair has no layers. Do you want layers? Well, you ask them, well, what are layers gonna do? Is that gonna help me? Don't be afraid to simply communicate with this professional and ask them questions based off of like what the end result is gonna be. You can also just straight out say like, hey, I want hair layers. But before you do that, you may be asking for layers and you don't really necessarily want them or need them, right? So you have to be sure why you necessarily want to have layers in your hair. So layering, especially for today's more modern styles, it's needed to create that fluffiness. Everybody, oh, I want that fluffy hairstyle, or I want to have that flow, kind of like this. This whole thing is layered. And this is 100% straight human hair, right? It's not fake synthetic hair, it's human hair, and it's straight. The reason I'm able to get these curls or waves or texture is because of the layering and then the products that I use. So make sure that you're using the right products, make sure that you're using the right styling techniques, you have the right shape to your haircut, because if your layers are too long, it's not gonna have the right flow or the right balance. If the layers are too short, they're gonna be too short to even do anything. So you have to really be careful. Another haircut, for example, something like this, I know a lot of you lately have been seeing this haircut and all going like crazy, I want this, I want this. So when you brush your hands like this, you could see all these shorter pieces in here. These shorter pieces are a result of layering. This also can be referred to as a feathered look, right? Or feathered layers. Feathered layers simply means it's the cosmetic name for what layers do to your hair. It creates a feathered look. So that's the result. If you want to have layers for something like this, you can clearly see that the hair is a bit longer. So you have to make sure that you have enough hair length, which you can see comes all the way down to here. So if your hair is too short, it may not be long enough to layer, but if your hair is long enough, then you have a better chance of it being able to flow back into a nice look and have the opportunity to be able to make it so much easier to have a nice feathered layered look. It's all about how you get your hair cut, right? Even on this side, you need to have layers in your hair. So once again, how do you ask for layers? You can just say, I think I want layers in my hair. It's then up to that professional to confirm that's what you need. Also showing them photographs. You can show them photographs and they will assess. Now, if you are going to someone who does not normally talk to you when they cut your hair, they normally don't have any sort of communication with you, then that's a problem. You need to make sure that that professional is communicating with you and that they know what they're doing. Don't expect to go into a really cheap salon or barber shop and them to perform the most amazing haircut you ever had. If they do, that's cool. Find someone who knows what the heck they're doing when they're cutting your hair. If you want to purchase any of my products, use code YouTube20. That's YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com, and let me know your experience with getting your hair layered. I'd love to know. See you soon.